This is in response to a post that I saw Serena Williams post about, driving the car with her nephew and her fear for his life and his safety. And basically, I saw it on Shade Room and I saw some comments that people had left under her post. And people were saying things like, oh, she had an aha moment, or oh, she finally realized she was black, and I wasn't impressed with what she said, and when is she going to start doing something, and where have you been, girl? All these critiques. And my question is, well, what are you going to do? What have you done? If you felt her post wasn't adequate enough, then why didn't you all add to the post? Why didn't you all post something to piggyback off of what she started? If you felt that her post lacked some things, why didn't you fill in the gaps? Why didn't you add what should have been added on your social media platform? But just to critique with no solution, to critique with no action, is just the definition of hating to me. Because you have no solution for what's going on. You don't even have the action to take place. I encourage everyone to read the article. Actually read it. Not just read it because Serena Williams wrote it, but actually read what she posted. Read it and understand why she said what she said. And understand what she put in quotation marks. And understand what wasn't in quotation marks. And understand context. And just understand when you're reading for comprehension. And not just skimming through in this microwave society that we live in. But now it's time for me to get to the meat and potatoes of it. What celebrity superstar icon like Serena, somebody like Serena being probably the #1 female athlete ever in the history of the world, she happens to be African American, someone like Serena that's come from the inner city, that's come from the struggle and made it out, yeah, Serena Williams, someone has to go to matches and endure racism from the media, from the fans, from the sport in general, yeah, Serena Williams. What person like this, oh yeah, and she getting her money too. But what person like this on that level, on billboards, on magazines, actually has made this kind of statement that she made? I'll wait. You all run around idolizing people that have said nothing. You watch their shows, you wear their clothes, you emulate their lives in your own life, and they haven't said anything, yet you offer no critique. You don't get mad when they don't say anything. You just keep rocking their clothes and keep watching their shows. That's a bar. But you don't say anything. But as soon as Serena says something, who's actually put her actions behind her words, because she actually is a pioneer for our people. She's made history and she supports our people. She's a positive image for black girls and black women. She supports our people. She donates money. She supports our people. She has an image she upholds. She supports our people. You got a critique? You got something to say? You don't have a movie deal to lose. You don't have an endorsement deal that might be lost. You don't have a check that's going to stop. You don't have these threats. You don't have fans you're going to lose. Yet you haven't posted anything. You can post something with no consequence. You can say any kind of inflammatory statement with no consequence, but yet you haven't. You haven't said anything. Your boss don't care whether you post or not. You can Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, tweet, whatever, and nobody will care. But yet you haven't done it. But I know why you haven't done it. Because it's easy to point the finger than it is to turn that finger into a fist in front of 100,000 people and raise it above your head. It's easy to talk about revolution, but it's harder to be in one. It's easy to talk about what you would do and what should do versus actually doing it. So for everybody that has a critique about what she posted, my question is, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What have you done? If you feel so strongly about it, then do something. You put a post up, not a meme, and not what somebody else said. You put a post up with your own thoughts, your brain, the God-given brain that you've been given, use that brain to give a comment. And then let's see how people rip you apart and critique what you said. Let's see what you left out or will leave out. Let's see what marks you missed. Let's see if we'll be unimpressed with what your mind came up with. If you're going to critique somebody or critique something, then guess what? You have to be a part of the standard. Meaning, if you're going to critique somebody's protest, you have to be protesting. I didn't say be the best protester. You got to be protesting, though. So if you're critiquing sports, you got to know what you're talking about. You got to know about sports. You don't have to have played the sport. You just got to know what you're talking about. You got to know about sports and what goes into it. So when we're talking about controversial, double talking about, but we're talking about controversial issues dealing with police killing us, African Americans, the kings and queens in this nation, then we got to be a part of that solution if we're going to talk about it. I can't just point the finger and say A, B, and C are wrong, but meanwhile X, Y, Z have said nothing and I continue to love them. I'm in the club chanting the songs. I'm twerking to it, dancing to it. I'm bumping it in my car, doing all this stuff. I'm rocking the clothes, dressing like them, being like them, doing all these things. And at the end of the day, I offer no critique. I give them my time, my money, and my energy, and I keep it moving. But when Serena posts and other people post and people saying they're not impressed, you're not impressed. I got something. You're not impressed with yourself. You looked in the mirror and you weren't impressed because you're not doing anything. You like everybody else. You getting in line and following the pack. You're not a trendsetter. You're not blazing a trail. You're not paving a path. You're doing what everybody else does. You're doing what everybody else does. You're no different. So my charge to everybody is if we're going to critique people that are speaking out, then we got to be a part of the solution. Meaning we gotta put our actions behind our words. We gotta put our money behind our words. We gotta do these things, people. It's time out for all this pointing the finger about who's this and who's that. They lit, they not lit, and all this foolishness. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I ain't scared of no ghosts. Wait for it. Free Blanche. Get money. Go.